Hey, how you doing? Once
Hallelujah.
again, it's Steve and Larned with Talking Small Press Comics. This is episode 16, and our guest right down below here is Tony Lorenz.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Tony,
Thanks for
great to
doing this,
see
Tony.
you.
We appreciate
Thanks for having me.
it.
I've really enjoyed your videos.
Oh,
You guys
great. Thanks.
have done a great job. And
You,
actually, a few books I've ordered because of your videos.
hey, now that's what it's all about, Tony. That's why we're doing
I
this,
appreciate it.
to help the small press cartoonists, sell a couple books, or at least
Yeah, we want to do what we can to promote small press,
Yeah.
but primarily we're in it, for the money. And so
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding, but
Wow. Yeah.
I'm in it for the
But-
money.
You're gonna have to tell me how that works.
Yeah, nobody knows. This is, if
It works kind of in
anybody figures
reverse.
it out, let me
the more
know.
you spend, the more you lose.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's all from the heart. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more to be gained than just something monetary. Well, there's zero to be gained monetary, and you got to do it because you love the medium.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, so
Absolutely.
All
you're
right,
obviously,
Steve, you started off. You can ask them a question, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, I did write down a bunch of questions, and I sent them to you in advance. But and I would do want to apologize because a lot of like you did 25 issues of Futuro Tierra
Yes.
and Futuro Tierra, but you did 25 issues, and apparently almost all of those, my collection, I moved from recently, or not recently, but several years ago, from California back to Orlando, and a couple of boxes of stuff was lost. I mean, it might still be there in San Diego, but I'm missing a lot of your stuff.
Mhm.
And but I'm happy, for the few things I do have,
Right.
and we still got those great memories.
Yes. Actually, they may be at some point published in a collection. The
Just
future
to
of
show
Keeter.
people, just in case, here's
Yeah,
some of your
yeah.
work.
Yeah, it was a great series. It was an incredible series. But
Yeah.
we're going to start out with this.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently, have you actually been involved with small press since the 1980s? Is that accurate?
Yeah, yeah. My first published work was 84.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Was that Savage World?
Savage World that I published myself. My dad paid for it. 100 copies. I advertised it in the CBG, Comic
Yeah.
Buyer's Guide.
Really?
Really miss that
Yeah.
that newspaper. I got like 3 orders. I got 3. I printed 100 copies.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a landslide
Yeah.
for me.
yeah. So from there, I think I did a short story for another fanzine. And then my which made me a Hall of Famer.
Right.
For Power Comics.
Yeah, I've
was
been watching the Power Comics videos and interviews
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, the John Tar. I drew the first issue of the John Tar book, in which I was fired after the first issue, but it was a good experience, and apparently it sold like 25,000 copies. It was
Oh,
during
Wow. I mean, that is unbelievable. How on earth did you do that? Did you advertise? You must have.
I didn't publish it, so it was
Yeah.
it went through. Back then it was during the black and white comic phase
Oh, yeah.
craze.
The independent explosion.
Yeah, and I think there was tons of distributors, so they probably went through.
We lost you.
Yeah, they went through a bunch. I'm sure all the distributors, and yeah, there was a big. I didn't really know it sold that many copies until recently. And there was on the Power Comics, they had I guess a local newspaper wrote an article about the publisher, And in that article it said,
That is amazing. What an accomplishment. And you were just getting
Did,
started. I mean, you were just
yeah,
getting revved
yeah,
up. You weren't even,
right, yeah. I didn't
where you
really know
wanted
what
to
I
be
was
yet.
doing.
did you go to art school at all, or were you
Um,
self-taught, or what?
uh,
Your perspective is so
not
good.
real. Yeah, not really. I applied for the Kubert School,
Mm-hmm.
and I went through. It was, and I kind of thought like anybody applied, they'd get in there. But I went through a phone interview process,
Mm-hmm.
which I was interviewed by two of the teachers.
Uh-huh.
And then the final interview was with Joe Kubert himself,
Oh.
Cool.
and I was accepted.
Uh-huh.
And then I read an article in a magazine that they get like, I don't know, 10,000 people apply and only like 50 get accepted. So I felt pretty good. But once I found out how much it was going to cost me, and
Reality sets in.
yeah, I couldn't relocate to New Jersey
Oh, yeah.
and all that. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm pretty much self-taught.
Well, me too. It's, whatever I do is self-taught. But yeah.
Really loved your new book that you sent me.
Thanks.
You got that one?
Inspector eBay.
The
That was
spiral bound one?
Inspector eBay, yeah.
Inspector
Oh,
eBay.
Inspector eBay. That's another
Yeah,
one.
That was
digest.
Yeah. Yeah, that
fun
was a
book.
great zine from Larned. So how did you first discover small press? I mean, how did you first learn about this?
Through the CBG. I mean,
What?
they had all those ads and
Comics
they-
Buyer's Guide.
Tim
Oh, through the
Corrigan,
Comic
Tim
Buyer's Guide.
Corrigan.
So it wasn't like through Tim Corrigan's small press explosion or anything. Huh?
No, I did read that after I got into it, but
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and honestly, I didn't really see any of the books before I published. I just saw ads.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had some art with it, and I said, man, these guys are publishing. Why not?
Yes.
Why not me?
That's what I thought. I had no idea people were doing that. I always fiddled around with cartoons, but I had no idea people were publishing their own comics.
Yeah.
I found that out, and wow, I'm gonna give it a try.
I find though it's a lot of work actually publishing. That's
Yeah.
why I haven't published anything myself in many years.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
doing
There's
so
a lot
much
of work
for other
putting
people.
together, and I don't know how you do it, Steve. With the UFO. I just got your new issue. Great issue. I've already read it. It's fantastic.
Appreciate it.
guys do a
I don't
great-
know how you do it,
You
Tony.
seem
You're
to
doing
be
like
very busy.
3, like when I talked to you at a MegaCon a few months ago,
Yeah.
and you were working on 3 projects at once for 3 different publishers. And
Right.
you still managed to do a page for me that ended up in Posit. What is this? Number 48. And I
Yeah.
felt kind of guilty about asking you to do it. Something that I just started. It was only like a 1-pager, but I felt kind of guilty because you told me how busy you were.
Yeah.
And you did this thing where I'm opening the door, and I started to draw this thing,
Yeah.
but then I got busy, and then I saw you, and I saw, an opportunity. So I asked you to complete it for me, and you did. And you did this great picture of me with all of my characters.
Yeah.
And
I hope you don't mind me. I changed the last panel because it
you
did
did.
storytelling. I thought worked better.
But there I am in the corner. I'm responding to how you changed the last panel right there. Like, no, but seriously,
Yeah.
no, it turned out great.
Cut out the swear words.
Now, if you're gonna
You did a
draw
great
a digest size comic, it's going to be digest size. What size are your originals for a digest size comic?
You know what? Pretty much all mine are 11 by 17.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Except for one. Actually, one of the projects I'm working on is another Sherman Burnett, which is written by a story written by Guy Sparkman.
Oh,
Oh, no kidding. Guy
Yeah.
Spartan.
So that will be, like 5.5 by 7, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's a mini comic,
Okay.
which
It's
is
going to be a mini rather
Yeah.
than a digest. Okay.
Yeah.
and
And
which
I will say, because you mentioned Guy Sparkman, I do have this
yes, yeah,
Action Hero Adventures here.
I had a lot of fun drawing that.
Yeah, yeah, with this great story in there by Guy Sparkman, and about these otherworldly beings, the strange lizard men, and these other people who are rather peaceful, and how they adopt one of the lizard men as a little kid, but eventually his tendencies come out, his evil tendencies, and but just I love your perspective on on the stuff you draw. Like, this is just a big room,
Yeah, your
but you can
perspective
see the
is just right
perspective
on.
here, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I I try. I try to make.
I try to avoid that at all costs. Perspective.
Yeah, the hard stuff, we kind of want to sidestep that.
Yeah.
There's got to be an easier way to do this. But Tony doesn't do
I
that.
guess I got a little George Perez in me that is
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it just goes all out.
Here's an outer space scene here.
Oh, and your grays. How do you do your grays?
I do it in Clip Studio.
Clip Studio?
Yeah, it's kind of like Photoshop. I
Uh-huh.
really like it a lot. It's
Do you?
yeah, it's very similar. You can do all the toning and
Oh, okay.
text in it. So I basically I have Photoshop. I scan the art in Photoshop, and then I open it Clip Studio and do all of my lettering
Mm.
and all all the because my lettering
Okay.
sucks. But
There we go.
there's funny. You hear me?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we hear you.
I was having a little problem here. All of a sudden, Alexa popped up, and I couldn't hear you for a moment, but I think I got it solved. Now, you guys can hear me fine, right?
We
Okay.
can
Yep.
hear you. Yeah. Is she trying to
Okay.
sell you something?
I don't know. She just popped up. I must have somehow said something that sounded. I'm not going to say the name
Don't say
again,
her
because
name.
if I do,
Yeah.
she'll pop up.
She's wondering what you want for dinner.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we're back.
The ads will be all over your computer now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know you've there is that Perez influence. I mean, it's there in the way you lay things out, in the way you can put a lot of characters into one panel, and not make it seem cluttered. The perspective and all that. I mean, obviously there's an influence. He's obviously a friend of yours and an influence of yours, and so, but who is there other people you would cite as influences besides George?
Yeah, everybody really. Whether I like their styles or not, I can always learn from everybody. Others I like. It's totally different style is Hergé, George Remy, the artist creator of Tintin.
Oh.
I like Byrne. Not so much of his newer stuff, but
John Byrne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much. But I can learn from everybody.
Mm.
I really like Randy Ronaldo.
Oh, Randy's great.
Yeah,
Randy's great.
I follow his stuff, and
He's
Nick Durga.
influenced by
Nick Durga is really
Mhm.
Nick Durga has really come along as an artist. Because for a long time Max Inc. was doing all his art, and
Yeah.
and then in his last, he's doing it himself now, and I'm pretty impressed with it. So, but there's, I can learn from everybody.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I've noticed is you take these influences, and it doesn't look like anybody else. It's your own style.
No, I could spot your work anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely your work.
Yeah.
So you've adapted the best of, others and created your own thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
What kind of pens do you use? That's always interesting to me. What kind of tools people use?
I don't really do brush too much.
Yeah, I don't
A lot
either.
of pen, a lot of pen work because I don't really have a whole lot of, I fill blacks in with it. I'll show you what pens I
Okay.
use.
I might learn something here.
Is that a real background behind you, or is that
I
some
think
sort
that's
of
his
painting?
yard.
But well, I'm in Florida, and I know that it's after dark, and he's in
Oh.
Florida as well, so that can't be real.
Aha. A
Has
fake
to be,
background.
yeah, some sort of
He probably
poster.
drew that.
Yeah, I use, this is what I use.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
have used those. They have the little thicker tip, so if you push on it, it flares out.
Yep,
Yeah.
I do use, I use the brush pen a lot.
Brush pen, yeah.
Yeah, I go through these a lot, and I probably order them like every other month,
I bet with the amount. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like them.
I always have had a difficult time getting line thickness. A lot of times my lines are just way too thin after I see it in print,
Yeah,
Can't seem to
that's
get
something
over
that,
that.
yeah, I learned that over the years too.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
thicken.
wow, it looks fine. Then when you shrink it down, it's like,
Yeah,
it kind of disappears.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Or
guys are kind
flattens
of losing
out,
me a
or,
little bit because I'm more of a writer and not as much of an artist. I'm okay as a penciler, but I never was much of an inker, and that's why I usually find somebody else to ink anything
yeah,
that I do. I was always using like flare pens, and
yeah.
Micron
never
pens
got
I use.
into the really good stuff, the really good tools. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been real fortunate to work with a lot of great supportive people like Steve and Jim Main and
Yeah, Jim.
Ken Anthony. I've been
Yeah.
working with him for many years. Guy, Roger Keel, there's, it can go on. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
And
I feel pretty blessed that I'm in demand.
Yeah.
And
it's
because of
amazing.
that, because of that, I don't turn many things down. So yeah, that's
Wow.
Wind
can
up
be a
with
curse
3
sometimes.
projects at the same time, huh?
Yeah, you look at a lot of the pro that I followed, they're no longer relevant. They're not no longer working in the business and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of treat it that way. It's like some point, like no one's gonna want, yeah.
But Power Comics, they've kind of didn't they just vote you into their Hall of Fame or
Yes,
yeah,
that
the
was
Comics
pretty.
Hall of Fame?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that John Tar. I mean, I was real young as an artist, so it was real. I've come a long way since then. But
Absolutely.
for some reason, there's a big cult following for
Yeah.
that stuff.
And I've seen a lot of your early work, and your more recent work, and you and I did a lot of stuff together, like Cosmic Man.
Yeah. Oh, I had fun with that.
I just happen to have the first issue of this one here.
How old is that?
This is like year 2000, 2001.
2000.
It was a story I wrote, and Tony and I we did a lot of. I was really flattered. Jim Main published most of these, the stories of Cosmic Man, but he's a guy from another planet with superpowers, but it's not Superman, it's somebody else. And here's Tony's art from about 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a little bit
I'd hate to
later,
show mine from 20 years ago. Little stick man.
a while later, Jim Main and I were still. Jim published this, and this is Tony didn't do the cover, but he did the interior, and it's utterly
Yes.
fantastic. This is. Mm-hmm.
Scott McClung, or
Scott McClung did that cover.
yeah, he did the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful cover. And,
Yes. Yeah.
And
He does that
the
computer
interior.
stuff.
Yeah, we started doing Cosmic Man, and the next thing you know, we were bringing in Jim Main's own characters, the Simeon, and and we were combining all our characters. We had like a whole Justice League thing going with
Yeah,
all
the
of Jim Main's
Vindicators.
characters and my characters. We had the Raven in there and Nightman, and we had this. I just wanted to mention a little more about Cosmic Man really quick here,
Go ahead.
because here's Main Enterprises presents #4, and there's Cosmic Man right there.
Uh-huh.
And this was again, it was part of a giant war with all these heroes and aliens invading the Earth. And Tony pulled out the stops on the artwork. I mean, the detail that you put in, Tony, is just amazing. And
I can't take all the credit. Jeff Austin's inks really made me shine. It's kind of like Joe Sinnott when George was a young artist.
yeah,
He really made
well, the combination, Jeff Austin was a perfect inker for you.
Yeah.
I'm still good. I still want to continue this because at the end of it, I left. They're very tiny here. The Titan is a giant superhero of mine, giant man sort of. And at the end of this story, he had been shrunk to microscopic size. So I want to do a sequel. It's been so long, and somehow I forgot about it and never did the next part of that.
Yeah.
Well, keep me in mind.
I hope you'll be on board, Tony. I'd like to
Yeah.
write that. I want to do a solo adventure.
I would be honored.
Talk about it.
Anything you do, you're,
gonna ask
like I
you
said, you're
about-
one of my heroes.
Same to you.
When you
I
have to do
appreciate it.
something like army vehicles, tanks, that kind of thing, do you use reference material? Do you go out online and?
Oh yeah, that was that actually Tom Felrath
Yeah,
story was probably one of my
Patriot.
most challenging.
really.
It was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually working on an 8-pager for him, another
Mm.
Patriot story, but
Yeah.
it was real.
Tom Felrath's a great writer.
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he is. And actually his production,
Oh,
he did the lettering, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's fantastic.
really?
But I'm working on just started doing some thumbnails. It's gonna be another challenge. He's pretty detailed, and so I'm working on that. And I got the other the Guy Sparkman story, and then we got a few more strips of the Enter the Center with Ken Anthony, the web comic
Oh,
that I've shown samples here and there,
yeah.
which I plan to publish all my web comics into one single book.
Ooh,
So I've got this is the 4th web comic series
Mhm.
that I've done with Ken.
Yeah.
I think we started in like 2015. So
Mhm.
we've done 4 storylines, 4 different. We're going to put it all in one book.
Oh, that'd be neat. Yeah,
Yeah. So
that'd be great.
yeah.
Another technical question I have, because
Okay.
these things help me.
Okay. All right.
Your pencils, when you have to erase after you ink, you have to
Mhm.
erase a lot of the pencils, and I have
Sure.
smearing problems sometimes. And anything particular you use, or?
I use a kneaded eraser.
Yeah.
I sometimes I'll have smearing problems.
Mm-hmm.
Not very often.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
very often, and that's
And they don't. You can get them so that they don't show up hardly at all when you scan in the
Yeah,
work.
yeah. I try to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I notice that I miss some, but
Mm-hmm.
I try to not go too heavy, where it's where it won't erase very well. But
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
keeping it light. I mean, you can use blue pencil too, but I could never.
I
enjoy
tried
using
blue
blue
pencil
pencil.
years ago, and it was actually, it's funny you say that. I was on the blue pencil craze when I was doing my Futura Terra the last couple issues.
Mm,
Well, and the last issue was like huge, huge issue. I forget how many pages, but I had a lot of people ink chapters. Larry Blake, Steve
Oh.
Shipley,
Yeah.
and,
Oh.
you know, and
Epic.
Anthony Gray. There's a few other people that I can't think off the top of my head. But Steve Shipley started inking, but it was he ended up sending them back. I had to finish them
Oh,
because they
really?
were big. Well, because I was using the blue pencil, it was too waxy, so he was having a hard time inking it.
Oh, I
So
didn't
he
think
says,
about
you know, I tried, but you know, this is. So I think after that I quit using blue.
Yeah, I don't think you can get the detail with a blue pencil that you can with a lead pencil.
Yeah.
To me, I
Yeah.
couldn't. Simple stuff, you know, real simple you can do, but and it
Right.
makes it easy because it really doesn't show up. But
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't used blue pencil in many, many years.
yeah,
Well, if I could mention, I do have a copy of Futuro Tierra here. This one, it was a UFO publication. It was also a Pizzazz publication. You were in Pizzazz for a little while, and that's a
So,
co-op
yeah.
that Steve Shipley started.
Yeah, until I got kicked out.
oh well.
Did you get kicked out?
Oh, I completely forgot about it, but I was kind of reading through the old. There was a big war because I think I had a swear word or something.
A religious war, by golly.
Oh,
And man, it was going back and forth, and you were kind of defending me a little, and but there were some others that get him out of here, throw him out,
You
and
know, it was they didn't call it a Christian co-op, but it was
Yeah.
kind of a Christian co-op, but it wasn't exactly a Christian co-op. I mean, but it had there was a lot of controversy among people who like to argue about things that are religious
right,
and what should be allowed and what shouldn't be allowed. There was a censorship clause with that group, and you had to be really careful about what you put in there.
and
So
my editing was not that great,
yeah,
so I ended up I bowed out. I thought it was better for the group, and
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
the
it
group
just-
eventually disbanded. It disbanded. But it's funny how people who have a strong faith disagree with other people and nitpick over little teeny things, like
I broke the rule, and I didn't try to, but it just happened.
yeah.
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
kind of a
it's-
fascinating history. That was an unusual co-op. That one.
Yeah, it was a fascinating read, because I was going through my stuff and I'm like, oh, really? I forgot. I completely forgot all about it.
I forgot about
Yep,
it.
and then it went on for several issues. I mean, it was just going.
There were a lot of arguments.
Yeah,
People
it
who
was,
should be getting along, but they're arguing with each other over, like I say, over nitpicky things.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
it's on me, and
I was chairman of that group for a little while, and
Yeah.
I tried to stay within the rules, and also
I think you were chairman
allow-
at the time.
I was chairman, probably was at the time, and I but also allow people to to speak up and to have their difference and try to get everybody to be civil with each other.
We are back. We had a little intermission there, but we're back.
All right.
And I forgot the last question I asked Tony. I know it was important. What was
Yeah,
that?
it was what are you most proud of amongst your comics and creative works?
There you go.
Well, like Futuro Tierra. I mean, this starting and finishing a 25 issue series.
That's quite a run, man. That's amazing.
I primarily did everything, but I did have help on the way. Larry Blake inked an issue. I had help on one, but I'm pretty proud. It's not my best work, but it's an accomplishment that I'm pretty proud of. And then I guess my new book with Tom. It's just it was
Patriot?
yes.
Yeah.
Show that cover again. You got that cover there, Larned?
Yeah.
Larry Johnson did the cover. Awesome cover.
Man, that was an outstanding book. That
This,
that was incredible.
this
I mean, that's
Yeah, it's just
magnum
commentary
opus.
edition, isn't that amazing? What he did with that?
oh man,
I
it's
mean, the
the
work he put in.
commentary edition. Yes, it's
Yeah.
very beautiful. I like the size. It's his layout. You know, he's pretty amazing.
And
That
it's
one's
showing
really
the
pretty much
pencils and all that. Just cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was like a masterpiece. I mean, it's really like a culmination of talents coming together, and
Yeah,
and Tom Felrath was out of small press for like 20 years, out of small press. And you know what? Guess who talked him into getting back into small press?
Tony.
I sent him some
yeah,
messages, and he responded, and I'm so glad he's back. I'm so glad
yeah,
he's back because look,
yeah.
look what you guys are doing. You're doing some amazing work. And as a collaborative team, you guys really pulled it off. You pulled out the stops on that one. Fantastic. The artwork, the story, just amazing.
Yeah, my only issue is right now is I got a lot of people that want to work with me, and
Yeah.
everybody wants you know
Yeah.
my total time it's hard.
There's only so much
You,
you can do. You
I
can't
almost
say yes
kind
to
of
everyone. Hmm.
hate to ask this. I'm trying to figure out how to ask. Do you get a commission on sales of the books you draw, or do you get anything,
Uh,
or are you just?
not most of the time now.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for the fun. I do actually since I've been with the Power Comics and all that. I've never done commissions before
No.
until like the last year, and I've done like about 6, 7 commissions, and
Oh, okay.
that people are actually
Yeah.
want to buy a piece of original Tony
Yeah.
Lorenz art.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
there's no page rate or anything like that. You don't have.
no.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
no,
it's so
because
hard in small
yeah,
press.
yeah. What's people in small press, they're
Yeah.
they're lucky they can afford the printing costs.
Yeah.
Doomed,
You know,
doomed to lose money, but
Yeah. Right.
happy to be there.
turn around and say, hey, pay me X amount per page. They probably, well, I got this
Yeah.
other artist over here that's will
We'll
do
talk
it
about
for
Yeah.
losing money on small press. I know all about it. I
yeah,
published a White Buffalo Gazette for over a year,
Right.
yeah.
and I
That's
got
the one
three
you
or four
took over from
stamps in
Jeff
the mail.
Zanuck.
People sent me to put on. But that was about it.
Yeah. What is that all about?
The White Buffalo Gazette.
Yeah,
It's hard to explain. It was people contributed to it every month, letters,
yeah,
stories, artwork, and I put it all together and published it every month. And it was started by a guy known as Max Traffic, and he started it. Uh, he quit doing it. Somebody else took it over. Eventually, I don't know if you know who Jeff Zanuck is.
Jeff
He
Zanuck.
took it
Yeah.
over.
yeah,
He he did it all by hand. He printed everything in it, probably sitting at a picnic table in the park. And he
mhm.
did it for about a year, and he couldn't do it anymore. So then I took it over and did it.
But that was articles and reviews and all kinds of stuff, wasn't
Articles,
it? Yeah.
Almost,
crazy
almost,
artwork, crazy
almost
stories. It was really
almost like a co-op thing. Yeah,
kind of, but not exactly.
Jeff
Hard to,
Zanuck
right.
was in one. He was in the UFO or the BPP. I don't remember.
I think I vaguely remember. Yeah,
who
Yeah, he
was
was
that?
definitely. He was in. He was Jeff Zanuck
Oh,
was
is that
in
Jeff?
the UFO. He was either
Yeah.
in the UFO or the BPP.
Was he? Yeah.
It's complicated a little bit because the UFO and then never mind.
He
Jim
was
Maynard and I
living.
started another zine called the BPP, based
I
on
was
the
a, I
original.
was a member of that too.
You were. You
Yes.
were, and it was great to have you on board. We did a
Yeah.
lot of stuff there. That's where we did all the Cosmic Man stuff.
Yeah,
And I just found this.
yeah,
This one here, this version of Futuro Tierra from a couple of years ago, I think. It's from
Yeah.
the Script Graphics website. It says here 7 creative strips, 7 creative teams, rotating 7 days a week. What can you tell us about this?
It was Daryl Gaza
Mhm.
started this, and actually he's starting to get back into actual publishing, but he did web comics.
Uh-huh.
And this is one of the web comics that I'm going to put together into a regular size book. Um, I didn't get a lot of sales on it, and what I did, I didn't get a lot of great feedback on it because of the format. But
Yeah, it's 4
I thought it
panels.
was an interesting format. I just thought more like those what was it, Tijuana Bible
Yeah,
comics, kind of similar to that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what I did is it was this storyline was 52 strips and went once a week for a year,
Mhm.
and it was my old future
Once a week.
Sierra. And it was an original story,
Once a week for a year?
once a week for a year. So then, so I put it in a book, 52 pages, and I thought the format too, with shipping, I could fit it in an envelope. It
Yeah.
was cheaper for people, but I still didn't get many orders for $1, So, but,
Unfortunately.
yeah, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So,
That's small press. Yeah.
yeah, so, and then, like I said, I've done like 4. I'm about finished with the fourth web comic. There were the second one was my sniper character. Was
Sniper, I
50.
remember.
Yeah, it was a 52 strip for a year, and
Wow.
then the next one was
Wow.
Ken's character, Mr. White, and that went for I think 80 weeks.
Gee.
So and then this one here, I'm going to be working on strip 53. So I think it's just got a few more strips and it'll be done.
You must work fairly fast. I would think.
Yeah, I'm fairly
I
fast. And the thing is my job, which I work a lot. I work probably 60, 70 hours a week.
Oh my
Hard to
gosh.
believe you can do that and still do these
Yeah.
comics. It's
I have,
unbelievable.
the thing is with my job, I have some free time. So I get artwork done every day.
You sure you
So,
should be saying that?
you can, if you want to edit that.
What about Ken Anthony? Ken Anthony II. You and he have been collaborators for a long time. How did you first meet Ken? And
I actually, for 20 years, I published the George Perez magazine.
Pace setter.
Pace setter, yep. Started as the George Perez newsletter for 3 issues, which was basically the same thing. But then people were confused. Is this a newsletter or a magazine? So we changed the name, and I started over at number 1. And it was a fan magazine, kind of like the Kirby Collector.
Yeah. And it's a
and
shame what
actually,
happened to that. That was a magnificent magazine, and
yeah,
George
it was
Perez totally supported you in.
yeah, he was
with that
actually
zine.
he was kind of the uncredited editor for probably the first. I published 18 issues plus 3, 21 issues over 20 years. So probably about half the run, he was the, I'd send it before I published it. He would look it over, make corrections here, and all that. And
He
then
was
when
almost like a co-editor.
yes.
Yeah.
And his detail as art was as detailed as his editing. So
It was a great zine.
yeah.
And what happened?
He once his health started going down, he kind of backed away from it, and it's.
So what? You got a notice from Marvel or DC?
No. I don't really know what happened. My printers, I went through Lulu, who printed my pace setter.
Yeah.
And I had nothing but good things to say about I think once COVID started, you couldn't get a hold of anybody anymore.
Oh,
Well, anyways, I got an email from them saying that I may have violated their copyright policies. No decal on. I never changed the way, and plus it was an issue that was published 5-6 years earlier, and they said that we may have, and then without any notice, they canceled my account. So
Despite
all
the
the
fact
books, all the books I had on, people could order was
yeah.
gone.
Oh man,
So
that's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's
Yeah.
so sad. Despite the
So,
fact that
and
George
it
Perez
just,
was behind you the whole time on this, he totally
yes,
supported
yeah,
this.
yeah. And then all it was is people writing articles about George, checklists.
Yeah,
There
a
was
fan magazine.
Yeah, and artwork, rare, never seen artwork. And I gave credit to wherever, credit was due, So I'm thinking, I don't know for a fact, when DC went through their changeover, new owners and new, I think maybe the new people, because when I originally first put the first issue out, I went to Marvel and DC. I said, this is what I'm going to do. This was, George gave me the green light on it. I want to get the green light from you guys. And they said, yeah, go ahead, as long as you put copyrights and, all that.
Yeah.
Because basically it's promoting their stuff too.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Right. You're promoting them.
and I never,
Be behind it.
yeah, and I made a little here and there money wise, but really nothing. It pretty much went into the next issue.
Yeah.
I did make.
Yeah.
So I did it for the joy of it. And plus, I really published it for me because I'm such a Perez fan. I love reading what people's articles and people sharing the artwork. And, George has great fans. So it was a lot of fun.
I remember the first time we ever met in person was at MegaCon in like 2004, 2006. I went there. I remember George Perez had a table set up not too far, and you said you should, go over there, tell him you know me, and but he had such a long line of people waiting for autographs there, that I didn't. I walked by. I think I took a picture of him or something, but
He
but
barely
it's cool.
knew me then. He barely knew me then.
Really?
So,
he was that gracious. He was that gracious that,
Yeah.
you were a fan, and he was supportive of you. And
Yeah, well, it was
not
kind
only
of blew me
good
away
reviews.
when I first went to him with the idea about the magazine. First time I met him,
Wow.
you would think he would say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this sounds great. I love it. And gave me the okay, and I was like, wow. I was like, and I thought I was going to publish one issue, and then that was it. And then I'm like, this is highlight of my life, and it's like,
Oh man,
but
it was a great zine. It was a great zine.
And getting back to Ken Anthony, that's where I met him at MegaCon. I had a table, with my pace setter magazine, and I met him, and great guy, and he's one of the best people ever,
Wow.
and great attitude, and I have fun working with him. So.
Have you ever been to space in Columbus, Ohio?
No,
Convention?
no,
No.
never been to Ohio.
No. Okay.
I've been all over the world, but
Never been to
Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
No.
Larned, have you been to space?
Oh, many times. Many times.
Really?
Yeah.
They still have it?
Yep. They having it again this year. Now, last year they didn't. It was
I just got a
because of COVID. But this year it is supposed to be live. I think in the summer sometime.
I just got
I
an
may have to try
invitation.
and make it there sometime.
It's a great show. A lot of neat people. I met all kinds of people there. Of course, I met Tim Corrigan, and I became friends from going there.
Yeah.
I
And
think it's in May this year. I got
Larry
an
Blake
invitation.
is always there. It's great.
I definitely,
Lots of neat people.
definitely have to
Tim,
think. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's a great show. I haven't been in a number of years, but well, since Tim passed away, I kind of lost interest in doing that.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, he got like a Hall of Fame award or something like that at Space. I know that about Tim.
I'm still on video.
He's still on video. Don't talk right now.
Still
You
on
have to
video.
wait. I got an invitation from my friend George A. Lane III. Do you know him?
Oh yeah, he's always on Facebook.
He's a great guy, and
Great
he
guy. And
said,
I love his art too, man.
yeah,
He
he is a
needs
great
to draw
artist.
more.
Yeah.
I
Real,
knew
really
him
curvy,
as
really
he-
curvy
space.
style.
He goes to. I think he went to space every year. I thought he was just a collector. I didn't know he did artwork.
He's a great artist.
Yeah, I
But
know.
he sent me a message and asked, he's going to space. Space is in May this year.
Oh,
So
May.
I
Okay.
just got a message from him a couple
Yeah.
hours ago, and if I want to go along.
Really?
Yeah, maybe we'll drive up there. And Gary Barker, Gary Barker, who does Garfield. He's a
Right.
ghost
Oh.
artist on Garfield,
Hmm.
and great small. He did a cover for the last issue of Mantra number 12.
Yeah,
The
that was
wraparound
awesome.
color cover was by Gary Barker. He
That was
works
pretty-
as a teacher at the Ringling School of Art and Design.
Hmm.
And
he's in
so it's
Sarasota.
possible that us three guys might drive up to space.
Really?
We'll see what happens. I've never been to space.
Oh,
I'd totally like to go.
yeah.
We could probably stop and pick both of you guys up on the way.
Yeah. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That would be
Matt
awesome, right?
Matt Fazell is there every year. If you
Yeah,
know,
Matt.
you know Matt Fazell, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've met Matt a number of times. We worked
Yeah.
together a few times way back in the 70s.
Yeah, he's always there. And yeah, it's now there's a lot of young people I don't know anymore. A bunch of new people
Right.
too. But
Right.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great show.
Well, us old geezers can find our own corner of the convention. We can. It's the old geezers corner.
Yeah, yeah.
You're old.
Well, you just bring what
You
you
go
bring,
here.
maybe a shoulder bag with your comics in and walk around to the tables and trade them with people. You don't have
I'd
to have
love
a
to
table.
go. I've heard so much about space for so many years, and I've never
Yeah.
been able to go. Bob Corby, I've been
Mhm.
trading a few comics with him just lately, and we'll see what happens. My financial situation isn't the best right now, so it might not happen. But I do appreciate the invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this isn't about us. This is about Tony.
Right.
Tony, we're so honored and pleased to have you on board. You're a great old pal.
Yeah.
You're the best, and I'm glad that other people realize that now. You've paid your dues, you've worked hard, and a lot of people are giving you a lot of recognition.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah. I've had a lot of tough years, especially Larry Blake's reviews.
Oh, well,
Years.
that's Larry
Yeah.
Blake, right?
Yeah, no,
He has
no,
been
and-
brutally honest.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh.
He told me a new one every
Did he? Oh
every
my
month.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but you have proven yourself. You've proven
Yeah.
yourself.
no, but I totally respect him. And actually the number 22 of Futura Terra that he inked, it's my favorite issue.
Really?
I mean, he did a fantastic job on
Yeah.
it. It just
He's
made,
very.
Larry-
made my artwork look so.
I don't know. I don't think he's in very good health right now. From
Yeah.
what I
Right now,
understand.
no. But I am in touch with him. Well, Larry's a guy who will say exactly what he thinks, whether you like it or not. He doesn't
Yeah.
pull any punches. You don't have to agree with him.
Yeah.
But I dismiss if Larry. I mean, you listen to him. You go, okay, Larry just said this. Gee, darn, I hope it's not true. But if it is, whatever.
Yeah.
I still respect the guy. Still love the guy.
Yeah, he's
He's
great.
still a great guy.
He's a
So
legend in small press. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, that's for sure. Did a lot of covers for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. His unique, bold style he has. And the stiff
All right.
line.
You think we're going to wrap this up, Steve?
I think that's it. It was great talking with you, Tony.
Yeah,
I
we
think,
really appreciate you coming on with us. That was great. So,
I appreciate. Hey, I had a lot of fun.
good.
I had a lot of fun.
All right. Hey, just a quick reminder to subscribe and then hit the bell notifications so you never miss an episode. Our episodes may not be very regular, so if you hit that bell notification, it will tell you when we are on again with another episode. Also, if you would like your small press comic reviewed on the channel, unfortunately, you need to send Steve Keeter and myself a copy, and our addresses will be in the description below, along with Tony Lorenz's email address. We will see you next time.